Music was always around my house growing up. Everyone played the piano and sang, and the record player was well used with standards, show tunes, classical and gospel music. It was so natural to see music as a way to feel and express emotions. Music, and even more so entertainment, became a way to live a bigger life than just the normal day-to-day stuff. I was so enthralled with people who brought joy and emotion into my life, and of course, I wanted to emulate them. My family loved Barry Manilow, who I think is one of the greatest pop songwriters and all-around entertainers. You can absolutely hear his influence in my music today, and I'm completely unashamed about that. I'm going to add Donnie and Marie Osmond to the list as well. They had a weekly variety show where they sang and danced and acted with famous guest stars. I wanted to do exactly what they were doing, and still do. Now, let's fast forward through the next 30 years of my life. Ready? Picture me singing songs, performing on stage whenever I could, getting into other performance-related activities like radio, theater, and eventually film and television. Everything was super fun and was impressive to other people, which is what I was continually striving for. When I moved to Nashville, I was able to start working more seriously on my music, eventually recording 9 albums and touring around the country doing concerts. It was awesome, and I'm so proud of everything I've accomplished. But I was always looking for validation, not only as an artist, but as a person. Could someone please tell me that I have worth and value? I was looking specifically for validation from a very conservative niche of the music industry, people who shared my religious beliefs, and it never came. But I kept trying, and I kept feeling that there must be something wrong with me because God and the industry weren't giving me the life of success I thought I deserved. This obviously led to some major depression that I kept trying to counteract with more performing, more attempts at writing the better song, more attempts at being the better singer. Just be better. Even though I knew myself and my own personal struggles, I knew it would invalidate me if anyone knew about them. The truth is that I knew so deeply that I could never be good enough for God, for the industry, and even for myself. I channeled these negative emotions into doing more good stuff. Like, if no record label wants me, then I'll just make the records on my own and find a few talented friends to help me out. And good stuff came out of that. I learned so much about how to produce a record, manage all the elements, vocal performance, songwriting, and then how to stage a concert with all the production elements, promotion, merchandising, etc. It was a lot. But it was also very rewarding and fulfilling to me. But it was also so exhausting doing it all by myself, exhausting emotionally, spiritually, and financially. I also was very involved in prison volunteer work. Me and a buddy would go into a local prison once a week for nearly 23 years. And while it started as a mission project, I'm so grateful that it turned out to be a place of authenticity and relationship building, and a perfect opportunity to let go of some of the judgmentalism I'd been living with. Sometimes people would notice that everything wasn't bright and sunny in my life, and at first I would reassure them that everything was fine. I was just tired. But I wasn't fine, even if I wasn't aware of it completely at the time. Even when I was a little kid, I'd always felt like an outsider. And while I was constantly on the lookout for how to fit in, where I could belong, I never found it. I learned early on to just be the observer, watch people, try to see behind what they are doing, listen to what they say when they don't think anyone else is listening, and all the while learning that most people can't be trusted. So I better keep up the appearances of being good so I can keep getting the opportunities I desire. My job was simple: to keep smiling and making people feel good. I'm so thankful that during my darkest days of super high performance activities combined with underlying depression, I had a group of guys in my life who I could be completely honest with about everything going on in my head. Guys who were also completely honest with me. We developed trust through intentionality in our relationships. These were guys who would listen to me talk, and I'd sit and wait for them to tell me I'm crazy, and they wouldn't. They just loved me and reassured me how normal I actually was. This acceptance from others allowed me to start to explore what accepting myself would look like. It's weird to say that my quest for validation turned me into a great performer, but it did. I've lived my life continually trying to improve myself, continually trying to find ways to improve communication and connection with other people and the audience. I can be grateful for all that I've learned and experienced, even though a lot of it has come out of trauma that I've experienced. I've had a ton of fun and met some awesome people along the way. And I tell you what, when you're doing a concert of your own music and you happen upon that particular moment, the one that you hope happens, where you and the audience seem to be lifted up together, perhaps by a certain lyric or melody line, or maybe it's the whole audience singing together at the top of their lungs, where you feel we're all transcending the ordinary and entering into the extraordinary. Wow. It's the most incredible joy and honor of life to be a part of so many of those moments. I can't wait to make more of them.